For starters, Louis, just you got to play Boston University last year. What were your thoughts on that series, looking back on it?
Yeah, I think highly skilled and fast team. I think, and I think of it as a younger team, especially compared to us. So we just got to play our game, and I think we play hard against those kind of teams out east. I think we'll have success.
Do you expect a different style of game than last weekend?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Mankato's the older team, physical team, kind of your Midwest brand of hockey, and this will be a completely different thing. We don't want to change how we play. We want to still keep the physicality, and I think that's what will help us with success.
Is there anything looking back on Saturday that you guys want to do better to generate a few more goals?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Friday, I thought we played a lot better Saturday than Friday. We just didn't get the result. Just continuing on our execution, bearing our chances. I think we had a lot of good looks Saturday. They just didn't go in, so we just got to keep finishing on our chances. Goes back into practice, just finishing those small little plays that we can get, bearing down on those pucks, and they'll go in more.
What is it like going into a weekend like this where you're at home and you have a top 5 opponent coming in here and a team that was at the Frozen Four last year? For you guys, what is that like?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good team, we know that, but we try not to have. We kind of have the mentality of a faceless opponent. Like, it doesn't matter who we're playing every weekend. We need to do what we need to do. That's all we need to focus on, is playing hard, playing fast, playing to our identity, and when we do that, that's when we have success.
Would it be safe to say that this is kind of a measuring stick series as well this early in the season, going up against one of the best teams in the country?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I think our coaches, they set the schedule up years in advance for this exact reason. It's a pairwise. Pairwise is a huge deal. We want to have these non-conference games set up early because we're playing playoff hockey right away. I think our whole season is playoff hockey, if you ask me, and then it carries right through into actual playoffs. So, yeah, that's iron sharpens iron.
A lot of firepower, obviously, that BU has. You talked a little bit about playing your game. How do you guys play your game against a team like this to match up well against them?
Yeah, it's physicality. I think when you got younger guys, more skilled guys, they hate getting hit. That's just, you could ask any player that. They just don't like getting hit, and whether that changes their focus or maybe makes them move the puck a little quicker, maybe one less play, that takes away from their game when they're worried about getting hit, and then that allows us to use our speed and then our playmaking to go into their end.
How important was it to win a game like you did Friday, this early in the season, to come up with a comeback like that in the third period?
Yeah, I've said it to Brad probably 3 times now. That I go back to that Denver series. It's huge. It's huge for the belief in your group, and just to have that never quit mentality, character win. I love how we came back. We had a focus, a mindset of not giving up, staying positive on the bench, having the belief in the locker room, going out, get the job done. So I know we didn't do that on Saturday night, but to at least get that, start taking steps towards that. Now we're going to build on the consistency towards that. I think we'll be good.
I know it's early in the season, obviously, but both teams are in the top 5 nationally with power play. The importance of execution, but also staying out of the box, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Discipline's a huge part. We added those 2 words, discipline and swagger, in our locker room for a reason, I think, in terms of the daily preparation, commitment, discipline-wise, but also staying out of the box. So that's just moving our feet, not reaching, keeping our stick on ice, stick to puck. That's a huge thing, as you mentioned. And then execution-wise, having the confidence in ourselves to make plays, make passes, not making blind backhand passes or anything like that. Just using each other, communicating, all those things. I could keep listening to 100 cliches, but it just is what it is.
Yeah, and off that, kind of talk about your role this year. I mean, you've been on the PK, you already have a power play goal this year, just your versatility on that.
Yeah, I think I just try to be whatever they need me to do. It's nothing fancy or complicated. I sit in front of the net, and coach says, take the goalie's eyes, so I take his eyes, and that's kind of my role, is just to do as I'm told and make sure that guys know their job. So if there's questions, I can answer questions, but also reinforce what we need to do on the bench or on the ice, and I guess just help a little bit on the organization side.
As a veteran and leader on this team, and with a bunch of young guys that you're helping lead, coming off a loss, what kind of advice do you give to the group to kind of not let that phase you into another series?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think on Sundays there's a lot of opportunity when you come home after a loss to be sad and to dwell on those kind of things. But I think the message after the game that coach had was just let's not dwell on it. I thought we played really well, and our response from Friday night's effort relative to Saturday night was really good. So the effort was there, and that's what matters most. And then from there, like we just talked about, the execution piece comes in now. Let's start finishing on the plays, and then that stuff comes. But this early on in the season, I think effort has to be their number one, and the rookies know that. The new guys, new freshmen know that, and from there it takes care of itself.